Hi YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and I'm going to show off a pair of my balls. It's like our t-shirt says. I want to see my balls. What we're going to show you today is our calicos. Calico, I like Calico. It's one of my favorites. It should just be my opening line for pretty much every video I do, I guess. But they all are. I picked up all these snakes for a reason. And the ones I didn't pick up, my partner, cameraman Kurt, picked up for a reason. So they all are kind of our favorites. But this is a Calico. And you're probably looking at that, if you're not very familiar with ball python, saying, what's the big deal? It looks like normal python. If you know what you're looking at, you've probably already picked it up on it. But see all the white speckling all through the sides here. This side, there's a lot of it. He's got a pretty good amount of white. You know, that's what a Calico has. You can really see it going through there. Calicos tend to get better with age, I think. When they're young, this is actually all pink and it doesn't show up that well. As they get a little age, it turns white. It almost seems like it stands out more, and in some ways almost seems like more of it shows up for a while. Now, by itself, again, kind of like when we talked about Inchy, this isn't that impressive of a snake. Kind of like it, but it's not going to wow you. But the thing is, when you mix this to certain genes, it does crazy, crazy stuff. I mean, when you put it to a pastel, or especially a spider, it'll take the high white sides of the spider and bring it all the way up. And you end up with this really, really crazy animal. Same with the pastel. Instead of a little bit of white spots. And again, there's a lot of variation, so some of them will have more or less white, but it's going to blow it all the way up into the sides of the pastel a lot of times. And you're going to have this really cool, smoking looking snake that's, you know, the only way to do that is through Calico. And that's what makes Calico really awesome. It also causes your pattern to do weird things. And I'll show you. On him you can see it a little bit. You get some of this highlighting around here in places. And the pattern just looks a little bit funky. You can kind of see it right there coming up and through, a little bit odd. But again, I told you a lot of variation in Calicos. And I got another one to show you. And on her, well, she has a lot less white than her male. Her male's name, by the way, was Kratos. So now I'll introduce you to Calypso. She's got a lot less white. You can still see it in there. There's some white, there's some white, a little bit of aspen litter. There's some white, but there's not as much as the male. She's a lot lower white than he is. No doubt what she is, but not that crazy amount of white. But when you look at her tail pattern, you can really see all the highlighting, how that pattern tends to get elongated down here, and it's a mess. It's a really funky mess on that tail. There you can really see it. It doesn't flow like the rest of the snake does. I mean, there it looks like a mountain range upside down almost. And so it really messes with the pattern, especially towards the back end of the snake. So she's showing you a lot of those pattern variations more than she's showing you the white, whereas he's showing more of the white. But between the two of them, you can get kind of an idea of what that Calico can do. Calico is also a lot like pieds. What I mean by that is, if you remember when we showed you our pied, we said a low white pied can throw high whites and a high white can throw low whites. Calico is the same way. You can take this Calico that doesn't have a lot of white, breed it, and get a high white Calico out of it. It's not so much, it's just pretty random how much white there is. So we're really excited about our Calicos. You're going to see some Calico pastels, some Calico spiders, and some Calibes in the future. That was the idea when we got these. That was the main project we wanted to make. We've got a few other things flowing, but some of them I don't want to talk about just yet because some of them are top secret projects. The Calico, it's been out there a little while, but it's a lot newer than pastel and those things, so you don't see as much of it, you know, flowing around. But has some potential to do some really crazy cool stuff. And I think we'll be able to breed this girl starting next season. That's what I'm really hoping for. So we'll have Calicos, Calico combos available really soon. And this male, we are actually breeding this year. So he's been bred to a champagne female for some Calico champagnes. If you remember meeting our girl Juno a few videos back. So that's kind of what's been going on with these guys in our Calico projects. Any questions?
Nope, no questions.
No questions. You guys can't wait till Question Girl gets back. On our next filming session, I promise she'll be here, and she'll ask all of those hard-hitting type questions to make me think. Alright guys, make sure to like us, follow us, share us, comment, tell us what we did right, tell us what we did wrong, tell us what you want to see. If you have questions, ask. You can find us on Facebook at Olympus Reptiles as well. And, you know, you can hit us through a PM there. And we really, you know, this isn't how we make a living. We mostly do this for fun. So we're hobbyists, and we'd love to help you out as much as we can. So thanks very much, and we will talk to you all later.